Naomi, take 1, A mark.
My name is Naomi Corti. I was born in Luxembourg. I grew up in the south of France in Southern California. I started dancing when I was 3 at l'École de Danse Marie Seychelles. My grandmother danced when she was really young, and everyone else in my family plays soccer. So she was really excited when I decided I wanted to dance, and haven't stopped since. My grandma promised me that I could get whatever leotard I wanted if I started dancing, and I wanted a bright red one with a skirt attached. And she couldn't find it anywhere. But on a trip, she finally found one, and it is my favorite leotard to this day. It kind of looks like the Ruby's costume. Which, yeah, makes sense at this point.
When did you come to New York for School of American Ballet?
I was 13. I think a lot of people think that's a little wild, but I couldn't imagine going through. What luck!
Naomi, take 2, A mark.
I love to read. I always have a book with me. I'd say the book that changed my life was An Apartment on Uranus by Paul B. Preciado. It completely changed my outlook on the world and who I was as a person. I read it during lockdown, and it was just something that it was a book that I needed to read at that exact moment. The introduction is online on the Paris Review, and it is the best introduction any book could ever have. It's so good. I would really recommend it.
What one living person would you like to meet more than anyone else?
I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with Alok. Alok is an activist, and I have really enjoyed listening to podcasts and speeches that they've given, and I saw them on the street a couple of weeks ago and got completely starstruck and just shut down. I was so embarrassed, but I was like, oh my goodness, I want to meet you. If I could ask Balanchine any question, I am right now reading a book on Stravinsky. It's a bunch of essays by his peers and collaborators. And in it, Balanchine says something about how Stravinsky's work, as well as his own and their collaborations, are often viewed as abstract, but that no live performance can ever actually be abstract because it's performed by human beings, and that inherently makes it human. And I'd love to ask him how he feels about how his works, all of his works, are now perceived, and how a lot of people immediately go to say it's very abstract, or if he's changed his mind. I don't know. I'd love to hear him talk about it more, because it was just this quick paragraph, but it really stuck with me. One of my favorite backstage moments, or at least in the theater, is this past Nutcracker. I was coming back from a pretty major injury, and it was not easy. It was kind of that point of a recovery where everything feels impossible, and you're not sure if you're ever going to get back to where you were before. And I was crying in the stairwell. And Raul, who is on the janitorial staff, saw me. And he came and gave me a sticky note that said, "Don't worry, everything's gonna be fine," with a smiley face on it. And I have it taped to the back of my phone still to this day. And he just said, "Someone gave this to me this morning, and I think you might need it more." And he was like, "Pass it on when you feel like someone else needs it." So I keep it with me just in case. But that was I think that just explains everything that you have to know about the theater. It takes everyone that works there for us to be able to get on stage and do what we do. And it was probably the kindest thing anyone's ever done for me.